Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your boy Sniper, AK Brown, Amical Wolf. Just going to do a real quick live on my uh, what I believe happened last night, Georgia versus Kentucky. I'm in my car, so if it gets kind of staticky, whatever have you, just let me know. But anyways, first and foremost, let me tip my hat to the Kentucky Wildcats and give you some insight. Kentucky plays us hard every year. Yeah. We can say, oh, y'all beat Kentucky, or Georgia beat Kentucky, 50 to whatever last year. But it's something different about going to Lexington and playing those Wildcats. We barely beat them 2 years ago. And he has to go, oh, it was raining, the wind was blowing, the blah, 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 blah. Hey, guess what? We had to figure out a way to beat that team. Mark Stoops always had a good defense. It can always recruit good players. Two years before that, it was a low-scoring game. Again, people, oh, it was raining, it was this. Hey, man, listen, the game is played. That's the reason why people love football, because you can play football in any type of weather. But now that I got to sit back, take my nap last night, think about what I saw all night. First, we played an SEC team that did get beat by South Carolina the previous week. Don't you think that any team that gets beat like they did against South Carolina, they're going to come back with a little bit of anger and try to take it out on the team ahead of them, regardless who it is? Us as fans will say that, us as real Georgia fans, hey, don't sleep on our Georgia team. Our Georgia team is this, that, and the third. But you know what? Those players, the opposing team players, they don't feel the same way we do. We're fans. They're players. They put on their helmets the same way. They put on their pants the same way. They put on their jock straps the same way. Kentucky came out with one mission in mind: to get payback for what happened to them last week. And they did it. They punched Georgia in the mouth multiple times yesterday. Their defense stood tall yesterday, or last night. Their offensive run game was just on point. And what they did was, on their run game, they made you believe they was going in the A or C gap, B or D gap, and then they bounced it outside. Those running backs knew that there's not much they can do up the middle. Poor tackling is what got them the yards up the middle. Trying to arm tackle a 190 to 220 running back is what got them their yards. You can't do that with any running back. Now, a lot of Georgia fans are, up in here like, oh, we can't do this. We can't do this when it comes to Alabama. We can't do this when it comes to Texas. Bro, chill out. Chill out. Think about what you really saw. One thing that I'm going to criticize until I see difference is our offensive play calling. That is what I'm going to criticize. I'm not going to criticize the players. I'm not going to criticize anyone else besides our offensive play calling. Our offensive play calling is playing to win just by a little bit. Playing scared. Praying that if we do just a little bit, we'll win. That's not how this game's going to be won. And it showed last night. It showed like we were just doing middle school play calling. Middle school play calling. We look at our drives that we did, and my big bro, Mr. Mondo Black, proved a great point last night. We're doing bubble screens with a player who's your deep threat. Yeah, he's fast, but in terms of football, he's not a bubble screen person. Second point that he made last night is that we have so many doggone weapons on offense, and they're not being used properly. Offensive play calling. If I don't see improvement, I'm not going to lie to you. And I know I'm just a little fish in a big pond, but I'm going to make noise about my offensive coordinator, Mr. Bobo, Coach Bobo. Again, I didn't like Mr. Bobo play calling when he was at Georgia years ago, and I don't like his play calling now. Our defense was so affected by how our offensive play was last night. Oh, we can't get off the field at third. Hell, they're tired. Defense was chasing after Kentucky all night long. They stood tall when they could. When they should have, they stood tall. They made stops, but hell, they was on the field not about 76% of the time. And they wasn't chasing the doggone running backs. They were chasing the doggone quarterback. But they did a very, very, very good job. Limited to 3 field goals. 4 field goals. Proud of my defense for that. But our offensive play calling needs to change and needs to step up. We got to play aggressive. How do you think we won those 2 national championships back to back? We always had a defense. Always had a defense. But guess what we did? We won those national championships because we had an offensive coordinator who's now in the NFL, Mr. Munchkin himself. He was aggressive from the start. He was like a Mike Tyson, come out the gates and swing and throwing haymakers. Our offensive play caller now is like, all right, let's see what we can do and what we can't do. No, that's during practice. That's during practice when you feel, well, once you put that sheet together and hand it over to the head coach and say, hey, coach, this is what we're doing. This is what we need to be doing. Kirby needs to go back and look at the film and look at all these penalties, all these unneeded penalties. Some of that stuff was on the slant, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. Some of that was on the slant. And especially towards the end, it's like, and I'm gonna be very, very careful. Not careful. I'll say this though. They were doing it on both sides. They were doing it on both sides. They were just throwing flags like they had like a robotic arm, and as soon as the whistle blew, flag. And in his press conference, he said, man, I don't know if they calling these games closer, but there's a lot of things they got away with. Georgia got away with a face mask. Kentucky got away with a couple of holdings that would have took them out of field goal range. Blakeland holding right there in front of the ref. But we got to go back to the drawing boards. We get a week of, and I know Kirby's not going to let you relax, these boys relax. Because that's not in his nature and that's not the culture. But I just wanted to come up here. Hey, what's up, Emra? I just wanted to come up here real quick and I'm on my way to church. Wanted just to say, just give you my feel, and I'll probably do this again on Wednesday. That's my day of when we're gonna do them dogs. What's up, Vaughn 216? What's up, bro? I am not upset about the game. I'm disappointed at the game, but I'm only disappointed in one, and really I'm only disappointed in one small entity of the game, and that's our offensive play calling. I can't blame Beck, because you do what the defense gives you. Beck took some hits. But I believe that offensive coordinator, Mr. Bobo, he left our receivers out to dry a lot of times. He set our receivers up for failure a lot of times. He didn't give our defense our offense a chance until stuff hits the fan and we're down. Then he wants to do an aggressive play calling. And that right there should show you. When you set this team up for success, they're going to succeed. When you give them the right calls and the right plays at the right time, guess what? They're going to succeed. We drove down the field, 75 yards down the field. With ease. One thing I learned so far about Georgia offense is that this particular Georgia offense likes to play real fast. Carson Beck likes to play fast. Let the boy do what he got to do. Anyways, y'all, I didn't want to take up too much time. I know people are still asleep. I know y'all getting ready for NFL. I know majority of us is getting ready for church. But David Sniper, thank y'all for coming out. I'll be back later on in the week. And y'all have a blessed Sunday morning. D-True. Y'all have a blessed Sunday morning. Just want to do something real quick. Calm us down. Calm down, Georgia fans. Stop. Boy, I tell you. Y'all, some of you Disney dogs, and I'm going to call you what you are. Some of you Disney dogs, y'all are tripping out for no reason. Y'all are really tripping out for no reason. Go back and watch 2022, 2020 when we were in Lexington, Kentucky. Go watch those two games. And see if I'm not telling the truth about how Kentucky plays us. Because if you think about it, real quick, I know I was going to get on. If you think about it, when we go to Jacksonville and we play Florida, they're going to play us the same way. They've been doing it for years. But anyways, we'll talk about this again on, I think my day is Tuesday. Check the schedule. Got to look at my calendar. Wolfpack Nation got me doing a few things. So I got to check and see what's on the schedule. But anyways, hey, this is Sniper. Just coming on here, telling my Georgia fans, relax. It's the only third game of the season. Relax. And I'm out.